Norway, a land of breathtaking beauty and stunning landscapes, the land of amazing fjords, huge mountains, and endless natural wonders that captivate the soul, and cute villages by the sea where life seems to move at a slower, more peaceful pace. But Norway is more than just pretty pictures. It's a country with a rich history and a vibrant culture. It's a rich country where people live really well. And guess what? A lot of that prosperity comes from oil. Back in the late 1960s, they found oil in the North Sea. This discovery was a game changer for Norway. The oil reserves brought immense wealth and opportunities. This changed everything for Norway. The country transformed almost overnight. Lots of countries get rich from oil, but then they only depend on oil, and their economies get messed up. Norway did things differently. They diversified their economy. They decided to be smart about their oil money. Norway's leaders knew that oil wouldn't last forever. They invested in other sectors and built a robust welfare system. Oil prices go up and down, and the market is unpredictable. And eventually, the oil runs out. They needed a good plan to ensure long-term prosperity. They needed a good plan, a strategy that would secure the future for generations to come. A plan that would make sure everyone in Norway, now and in the future, would have a good life. They invested in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. That smart decision started Norway on its journey to becoming the amazing place it is today. A place where people are happy, the environment is protected, and the economy is strong. Finding oil in the North Sea was a huge moment for Norway. It was 1969, a year that would forever change the country's destiny. The discovery was not just about oil, it was about the promise of a new era of prosperity and global significance for a nation that had long been on the periphery of the world's economic stage. Everyone was excited. They found a giant oil field called Ekofisk, and it meant Norway was going to be rich. The Ekofisk field was one of the largest in the world, and its discovery was like finding a treasure chest at the bottom of the sea. The news spread like wildfire, and the atmosphere was electric with anticipation and hope. Suddenly Norway was important in the world of energy. The country, which had been known for its stunning fjords and fishing industry, was now a key player in the global energy market. This newfound importance brought both opportunities and challenges, as Norway had to navigate its role on the international stage. The government had a big choice to make. They were at a crossroads, and the decisions they made would have long-lasting impacts on the nation's future. The stakes were incredibly high, and the pressure was on to make the right call. Should they let other countries take the oil? Or should they keep it for themselves and use it to help all Norwegians? This was not just a question of economics, but of national identity and sovereignty. The government had to consider the long-term benefits and potential pitfalls of each option. They chose to keep it for themselves. That decision shaped Norway's future. By taking control of their own resources, they ensured that the wealth generated from the oil would be used to benefit the entire nation. This was a bold and visionary move that required careful planning and execution. The government made it clear, the oil belonged to the people of Norway. This was a powerful statement of national pride and unity. It meant that the profits from the oil would be invested in public services, infrastructure, and social programs that would improve the quality of life for all Norwegians. Other countries could help find and get the oil, but they had to follow Norway's rules, and they had to give a lot of the money they made to Norway. This arrangement ensured that Norway retained control over its resources while still benefiting from international expertise and investment. This made sure that everyone in Norway would benefit from the oil. The wealth generated from the oil was used to build a better future for all, funding education, healthcare, and community development projects. It was a transformative period that turned Norway into one of the most prosperous and well-governed countries in the world. Norway did something big and brave. In the 1970s, they took a bold step that would change their future forever. They started their own oil company called Statoil, which is now known as Equinor. This was a significant move for a small country. This meant Norway was in charge of its own oil resources, rather than relying on foreign companies. It was a matter of national pride and economic strategy. Statoil quickly became a cornerstone of Norway's oil strategy. The company played a crucial role in exploring and developing the country's oil fields. The company invested heavily in learning how to find oil, employing some of the best engineers and geologists in the world. They developed advanced techniques to extract oil from the ground efficiently and safely. Once the oil was extracted, Statoil refined it into gasoline and other valuable products, ensuring that Norway could meet its own energy needs. They spent lots of money on research and new technology, always looking for ways to improve and innovate. Having their own oil company turned out to be a brilliant idea. It gave Norway control over its natural resources and allowed them to make decisions that were best for their people. First, it meant Norway kept more of the money from the oil, and that money went back to help the people. This revenue funded public services, infrastructure, and social programs. Second, it created jobs and helped Norway's economy grow. Thousands of Norwegians found employment in the oil industry, from engineers to office workers. Everyone in Norway was proud of Statoil. It was a symbol of national achievement and a testament to what the country could accomplish. It showed that Norway cared about its people and was willing to take bold steps to secure their future. The success of Statoil was a success for all of Norway. Norway's leaders knew that oil wouldn't last forever. They needed a plan for the future. So, in 1990, they created something called the Government Pension Fund Global, or GPFG. The GPFG is like a giant savings account. It takes the extra money from oil and invests it in things all over the world, like stocks, bonds, and buildings. The idea is simple: save and grow Norway's money so future generations will be okay. The GPFG has strict rules. They don't invest in things that hurt people or the environment. This makes the GPFG special. It's a great example of how to manage money responsibly, making sure Norway's oil money helps not just people today, but also people in the future. The 1980s were a tough time for oil. Oil prices went way down and people weren't buying as much. Lots of countries that depended on oil had big problems. But Norway did okay. Why? Because they were smart and planned ahead. The GPFG, even though it was new, helped a lot. Because the money was invested in different things, it wasn't hurt too badly by the low oil prices. Also, Norway had programs to help people who needed it. The government had saved money, just in case something bad happened. Being prepared really helped Norway during this difficult time. Today, Norway is an example of how to manage resources the right way. People in Norway live well, they have programs to help those in need, and everyone gets a good education. This is mostly because they were smart about their oil money. You can see the good things all over Norway. School is free, from elementary school all the way to college. Healthcare is good and doesn't cost too much. Roads, bridges, and other things are excellent. The GPFG is still important, helping to pay for all these things. This makes sure everyone benefits from the oil money. Norway's story teaches other countries important lessons. Don't just think about today, think about tomorrow. First, make sure the resources belong to the people. Second, create a special savings fund, like the GPFG, to invest the money for the future. Third, spend money on education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Invest in your people. Finally, be honest and fair. Norway's success shows what happens when you manage money well, plan for the future, and care about your people. Don't forget to subscribe to see more amazing videos like this.